All right, guys. So I love math. I know you guys know this. We're doing chapter 9, lesson 3. We're going to make predictions about population. What I love about math is that what you learn at the beginning of the year, or even at the beginning of your life, your math life, school life, you're using it. So today we're going to use proportions, and I love proportions. I just think it's so easy. You set up some labels, and then you cross multiply and divide. To me, that's just super easy. There is other things besides proportion, but I think you guys are going to like today. It's pretty easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this worksheet that's in the textbook. We're going to do a few examples. These are pretty much common sense, so most of you will be okay. There's a couple that come to my mind, may have a little trouble. We'll see. All right. So we're going to do number 1 and 2 first. And it says for exercises 1 and 2, use the following information. Okay. On a quiz show, a contestant correctly answered 9 of the last 12 questions. So they got 9 out of 12 questions right. And it wants to know, based on these results, find the probability of the contestant correctly answering the next question. Okay. So the probability of them getting the next one right. Well, first, they answered correct to total questions. They answered 9 out of 12 questions. We want to see what's the percentage what's the probability, what's the percentage, whatever, that they're going to get it right. So we'll do fraction, decimal, and percent. How about that? Okay, so we have 9 12. So I know I can divide both of these by 3 to reduce or simplify, whatever you want to say. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So a 3 out of 4 chance of getting it correct. We know that 3 out of 4 quarters, we talked about this yesterday, 3 out of 4 quarters is 75%. And we know 75% as a decimal is 0.75. So that's the percentage that they have, or the likelihood of them getting the next one correct. Okay, so we're going to need to keep this in mind when we answer the next question, 75%. So it says, number 2, if you look at it, it says, suppose the contestant continues on the show and tries to correctly answer 24 questions. About how many questions would you predict the contestant to correctly answer? Okay, so we're wanting to know how many would they correctly answer out of total questions. All right, so it says we're trying to figure this out. How many total questions, if they answered 24, how many total questions would they get correct? Well, we know that they have gotten 75% correct so far. So 75% is going to go up here with C for correct. And total, out of a 75%, total is 100, right? All right, so we're going to cross multiply. 75 times 24. All right, so 5 times 4 is 20. The 0 can stay. The 2 got to go. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 2 is 30. 5 times 2 is 10. The 0 can stay. The 1 got to go. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 1 is 15. Okay, let's add this up. 0, 0, 8, 1. Okay, so we got 1,800. Now we got to divide 1,800 by 100. Goes in one time. Get 8. So 18 questions correct. Okay, also you could say, okay, I'm going to divide by 100. I can move my decimal in 2 places. If you knew to do that. If you didn't, no big deal. We divided it out. We still got 18, okay? All right. If you have a question, raise your hand. I will come help you. All right, next up. This is where we're going to be doing some proportions. This is what I like. It's my fave. All right, so let's look at this. So for exercises 3 through 6, so question 3 through 6, use the table over here to predict the number of students out of 528 that would say each of the following was their least favorite chore. Okay, so if we look over here, we have least favorite chore. Whenever you get a table, guys, you've got to make sure that you look at that table and you read it, especially on a STAR test. Okay, so least favorite chore. Clean my room, take out the garbage, wash the dishes, walk the dog, vacuum, or dust. I mean, obviously, clean my room would probably, and when I was a teenager, it's probably my least favorite chore to do. And so we've got number of students. We have 7 that don't want to clean the room. We have 4 that do not want to take out the garbage. 5 that don't like to wash the dishes. 3, walk the dog. 5, vacuum or dust. Now my least favorite chore is the dishes. And I have a dishwasher. So anyway. All right, so what we need to do is we need to figure out how many total students that they have interviewed or surveyed here, okay? So I'm going to look for things. I'm going to highlight this so we can see it. Well, let me see. All right, so we've got 7, 4, 5, 3, and 5. So I'm going to look at things that will add to give me 10. Y'all know I like to do that. 5 plus 5 will give me 10, right? So that's 10. And 3 and 7 will give me 10, right? So 10 plus 10 is 20, plus the 4 that's left over is 24. So they had a total of 24 students asked. Okay, total of 24 students surveyed. Okay, but they want to know over here, it wants to know, let's just predict the number of students if they asked 528 students. And 528 students, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up a proportion. So clean my room, clean room. I'm going to do CR. Y'all know I like gotta have my labels. It really helps you out of total. So 7 out of 24 total kids, least favorite chore is cleaning the room. We want to know how many would it be out of 528? How many people would probably say that's their least favorite chore? So we're going to cross multiply. 528 times 7. 8 times 7 is 56. The 6 can stay. The 5 got to go. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 plus 5 is 19. The 9 can stay. The 1 got to go. 5 times 35 times 7 is 35 plus 1 is 36. So 3,696. And we're going to divide this by 24. Okay, so 24 will go into 36 one time. 6 minus 4 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. And 129. So I'm going to look at 24 as quarters. So like 25 cents. I know that 4 quarters make up $1. And this is 129. So I'm going to go with about 5. And I'm going to see how close I can get to 129. Because 5 quarters is $1.25 or 125, right? Do you see what I'm thinking? You don't have to think that way, but we're going to do 24 times 5, and we'll see what we get. 4 times 5 is 20. The 0 can stay. The 2 got to go. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 2 is, ooh, look how close that is. I was smart. Okay, so 120, and we're left with 996. Okay, so now I got to see how many times will 24 go into 96. So the next way I think is I say to myself, 4 times what will give me something that ends in a 6? 4 times 1, no. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. That ends in a 6. I want this to be perfect. So I'm going to try 4. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. The 6 can stay. The 1 got to go. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Look at that. So if they were to survey, if we're making predictions, if they were to survey 528 kids, we could say that probably 156 would not want to clean their room. All right, so next we got to do wash dishes. Okay, washing dishes. Miss Mitchell's least favorite now. Okay, so we're going to do WD for wash dishes to total. And we know it's 24, and we know 528. Okay, and it says on here, washing dishes is 5. So 5 out of 24. We know that 7 out of 24 was 156. So we know that 5 is less than 7. Our answer needs to be under 156. Okay. So we're going to cross multiply and then divide. So 528 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. 0 can stay. 4 got to go. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 4 is 14. The 4 can stay. 1 got to go. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 1 is 26. All right. So now we have 2,640. We're going to divide that by 24. 24 goes into 26 one time. 6 minus 4 is 2. Ooh, 24 goes into 24 one time. And we have 0. So 110 students would most likely stay if we're making predictions that that is their least favorite chore. 110 and 10. All right, and that's less than 156. All right, okay. Good job, guys. And if you have a question, raise your hand. Okay. You got 2 more, I think? No, yeah. Okay, walk the dog. So now I'm going to do WTD, walk the dog to total. Okay, so we know 24 and we know 528. All right, so walk the dog, 3. This has got to be even less than 110. All right, so we're going to cross multiply and then divide. So 528 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. The 4 can stay. The 2 got to go. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2 is 8. And 5 times 3 is 15. All right, so we have 1,584 divided by 24. Okay, now 24 will go into 158. Okay, so I'm going to think again of quarters. 24 is close to 25. 4 quarters make 100. 5 quarters is 125. 6 is 150. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to multiply 24 times 6, and we're going to see how close we get. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 can stay. 2 got to go. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 2 is 144. Okay, and that's as close as we can get. So we're going to do 6, and then we'll do 144. 8 minus 4 is 2. 5 minus 4 is 1. So bring down this. 124. So let's see. 4 times, my bell's ringing. I'm going to do 24 times 5, and we know that's 120 because we did that all go. Okay, so 120, 4 point, we'll go into 42 times. So we're going to say about 65 kids because that's not going to round that up to 66. All right, so we got one more. Take out the garbage. So I'm going to put G to total. I'm going to do G to total. It's 24 and 528. And take out the garbage, there's 4 kids. Okay, so again, we're going to cross multiply and then divide. One second, I'm recording. Okay, 528 times 4, 32. 8 times 4 is 32. The 2 could stay. The 3 got to go. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. The 1 can stay. The 1 got to go. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 1 is 21. And so now we need to divide by 24. Okay, it will go in there. Oh, not one time, sorry. We're going to say probably 8. Let's see, because if we're looking at it as like quarters, 8 quarters makes $2. So let's do 24 times 8. Let's see what we get. 2, 16, 19. That's pretty close. Okay, so let's do 8, 192. That's going to be 9, 1, 2. Look, 88. So this one is 88 students. So we could predict that 88 students, if we surveyed 528, would hate to take out the garbage. I hope you guys don't have any questions. If you do, make sure you raise your hand.